Hey Aries, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at your weekly tarot. So welcome to the channel. If you're new, this is a tarot reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Cross watchers, obviously welcome. I look at it as long as the message resonates, then it's meant for you. Dude, this transformation card has popped up twice. I'm going to show that to you guys, but put it back in stillness. So a level of transformation that needs to happen from your space of kind of like taking a step back, really thinking, contemplating, figuring out what needs to come into being. All right, let's look at your energy for the week. All right, so sageness, I like this. Really clearing out your mind, body, soul. This gives you clarity. This gives you kind of a reprieve so that you really can connect with what your heart and your thoughts are saying. Through that level of sensation, sensation is one of the more finer feeling points. So yeah, we can all think about things, analyze, have our emotions, etc. But when we really sense into something, it's at the finer levels. This is clearing out shit that really is hindering us in our movement forward based off of what we're feeling, what we're sensing. We do have to look at ourselves, unfortunately, Aries. I think that's always a factor. As much as we would love to kind of look at other people, point the finger, force blame, etc., Spirit is really telling us that there is more to the story and we have to connect with that. I feel like we're in this process of transition, navigating things that we weren't really expecting or aware of. They're new beginnings. They're forcing us to grow up a little bit, look at things a little more practically. But also, like I was saying, from that basis of like what you really feel, what you're really connecting with, i.e. like what makes sense for you, right? All right, let's get into this. Dealing with a situation that's requiring you to clear your energy. There's too much going on is what I'm hearing. There's like too many people, places, and things that are kind of like speaking into something for you. And you kind of just have to let it go for a minute. Letting it go is giving you the opportunity to really connect with yourself and tune in to what you feel and how this shows up for you. I do think there is this element of where you have to look at yourself and how you handled things. I don't feel like you're scot-free per se. No shade to you guys. We all kind of do things, show up in ways that we're not really anticipating, or we kind of hope that we did a better job. But when push comes to shove, you know, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of opportunity. And so we really have to look at ourselves and look at how we're handling things, what we're saying without saying it, what we're kind of communicating through our body language. So air sign, energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Dealing with someone who is calling you out is what I'm thinking, like, or what I'm hearing, like whether that was overtly, like them actually saying something to you, or indirectly. I feel like you've kind of been called out. Maybe you were having some shady behavior. Sorry, Aries, that's kind of how it comes through. There's your energy right there. King of Wands. Trying to step up, trying to match this energy of the King of Swords. Showing that you're willing to work on it. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of potential moving forward, but I feel like there's a disconnect between you and this air sign. So maybe you are trying to express like, hey, I'm willing to be on your team. I'm willing to work through things with you, etc. How you're communicating, though, they're not necessarily hearing or receiving. Yeah, there's that Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is when we're in like our own world, you know. They're more focused on what they're building themselves. There's a second 9, the fear, the anxiety around this. And that makes sense, especially with that 7 of Pentacles energy, because I feel like, or 7 of Swords energy, because it's like, maybe they were expecting you to do them wrong. Maybe they were feeling a little bit not secure in the connection, in the relationship between you. And that's where that sageness is coming for you, to kind of clear the air. Maybe articulate a little bit better what the expectations were, what you hoped to receive from this connection. Because like I said, this King of Swords energy seems very fixated on something that felt a little shady to them. Maybe you weren't explaining the whole truth or the whole scenario. Maybe you kept something from them. And that's kind of what they're focusing on. And then you're focusing on them and wanting to connect, wanting to have some type of repair, some type of, but you don't really know how to approach it. So you're kind of just putting it on the back burner. So why do they feel like you're hiding something from them? There's the Queen of Swords. It's through evaluation. Maybe you weren't specifically trying to, but it came across that way. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were just approaching the situation from their past experiences and looking at it in a very kind of black and white way. I feel like there was a little bit of a disconnect of communication between you two, where maybe you thought you were explaining it in one way, but it didn't really come across to them in that way, because like I said, they still have this fixation on what you're hiding from them. And maybe you're not hiding anything at all. Maybe there was some details left out, but I don't look at you. I mean, you really have more of a self-protective energy. Like you're really trying to make sure your shit's taken care of, you know, for lack of a better term. And I don't think that they really know how to understand this. There's not a lot of communication happening between you two, especially with the Sensation card. It's more about the feeling, connecting with what's actually happening. Neither of you are communicating, which needs to change. I feel like something happened and you both have very specific perspectives around this. Yeah, and it's making it really hard to push forward. This is sad though, guys, because I don't think it has to be this way is what I'm hearing. sometimes we get into things with other people, right, that are only meant for a certain phase of our life, or just to kind of show us something that we need to grow and heal through. The thing about this situation, Aries, is I feel like not much communication is happening. This has been a general theme with the zodiacs lately. It's more about self-preservation, self-success. And, you know, it's hard when we're in that mindset because we don't really get a lot of clarification. It's easy to assume. And then it's easy to kind of like take other steps that we wouldn't normally do so. But you know what? I think that, okay, so even if this relationship is on the back burner, there is this ability for healing and for growth. But you guys actually have to talk about it in order to move forward. If you don't, you're repeating past mistakes. Here's the thing. I think, okay, Ghostlands, I don't know. I think that both of you have work to do. Goblins popped up. You know, so it reminds me of, you know, our own triggerings, our own woundings. Places that we kind of skeet around the situation or having a resolution because we're afraid of what that might be. So finding a way to listen. Maybe you weren't doing enough listening before. Details. Okay. That makes me laugh because I think sometimes like we forget about the details. So when we have harder conversations with people in our environment, we have to make sure that we're communicating clearly. And that can be really challenging because a lot of times we hear things differently. We're all individuals. We have our own perspective. Based off of what is being communicated, certain things are being triggered for us as individuals. So there's this strong need for you to really listen and kind of understand the details around this. I feel like that's actually going to help loosen this energy. Because I see you and another person. It's not exactly what either of you guys want. But you don't really know how else to approach the situation because you feel like you laid it all out there. They feel like you didn't. They feel like they're not really understanding what's happening between you two. And, you know, maybe there was, you know, resorting to old patterns, like kind of bringing back old solutions from your end to try to heal and patch up this relationship. But it didn't really unfold as you expected it to. So there's this call to like go back over what happened, really listen to the ins and outs. What are the details? What are being shown to you? And then from that space, finding a better way to balance, to approach the situation, the person, really cleansing your energy, you know, not putting so much obligation on yourself, and then feeling your way through it. What feels highest and best? Because I don't think it's all them. And the reason I'm saying that is because there is this element of self in your overarching energy. Places that you have to look at yourself and how you're showing up in situations like this. That's where those details come into play. We have to look at the details because those are what help us reevaluate and move forward. I think you do have control over this situation, Aries, but I think you have to remind yourself of that. I think it's valuable to have a conversation. I think that there's a lot of misunderstandings happening. I think that's going to bring you a lot better resolve. So I hope this helps, Aries. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love and blessings to whatever you're navigating through. If you want me to look at your personal situation, I do readings, energy healing, wellness consult. I'm here to support in whatever way is highest and best for you. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate your support to the channel. Drop comments below. Do a big thumbs up if it resonated. Lots of love and blessings always.